multi-drug-resistant TB a national emergency? Teachers leave fare management system outdated? National government signs communique with universities.
This is NBC Papua New Guinea National News.
Good evening, I'm Antonia Singut. The multi-drug-resistant tuberculosis, or MDRT, is a national emergency and must be given urgent attention. This concern was highlighted in the interim report on health sector management. The report was compiled by the Special Parliamentary Committee of Public Sector Reform and Service Delivery. Miki Kavera reports.
The national TB response in the country has been labelled by the Special Parliamentary Committee of Public Service Reform and Service Delivery as a disaster. The committee identified many inadequacies in its interim report on health sector management. Chairman Bire Kimisopa says the TB situation is widespread throughout the country and adequate response mechanisms must be in place to deal with this threat.
It will have social and economic consequences if we don't respond to it quickly. And from where we are and from where I am looking at the issue, it's going to go. It's going to go on bigger, and it's going to affect a number of our people in the country. And for the last count, it was reported in Kundiawa. So, from Daru came to NCDC, reported in, was found in Western Highlands, in the Highlands, and now they've got a case reported in Kundiawa as well. So sooner or later, we will have a national emergency.
Deputy Chairman Gary Jufa also raised concern on the lack of support by the National Department of Health. He says NDOH remains isolated in dealing with many health issues.
There are no follow-ups. There are no efforts to make sure that the patients have completed their treatment. And then there's very few personnel allocated to dealing with this matter. Now they've left this responsibility to a sister, to a HEO, This is something that should spark national interest and concern.
TB control and eradication program in the country has been driven by other country and not PNG. Several recommendations have been put forward by the Committee for Parliament to consider. These include setting up a fully funded comprehensive TB intervention program, and supplies of BCG vaccines must be made available to all centres in the district to immunize children. Miki Kavera, NBC National News, Port Moresby.
The Special Parliamentary Committee of Public Sector Reform and Service Delivery has released 2 reports today. They are the interim report on health sector management and the report on late delivery of teachers' leave fares in 2014. Both reports were never tabled in Parliament. Again, Miki Kavera reports.
Though the reports were never tabled in Parliament, the committee felt it was important it be released. The reports covered 2 fundamental sectors, that is health and education. In health, it was the interim report on health sector management which looked at issues affecting the health sector in the country, while education delivery of 2014 teachers' leave fares. Chairman Bire Kimisopa sees no reason why the committee wasn't given the opportunity to table the report.
The teachers' leave fare report, the interim report on the health report, and the final report on the health were not tabled in Parliament. Now, on behalf of the committee, we've resolved that we need to take a different route. These reports are going to be obsolete in the next couple of months. And we felt it was proper, it was important that these reports are made available to the public.
The committee was mandated by Parliament to carry out reviews in the public sector. It represents no parochial interest but only serves to assist the government in improving service delivery. Deputy Chairman Gary Jufa shared similar sentiments on the role of the committee.
At every opportunity, I would say, to bring about these changes that this country so badly needs, a government administration that has not been reformed since 1975. This is a huge effort, and we've not been allowed to table this in Parliament. These are changes that the nation needs, that the people of this country need. These are the changes that are going to improve our lives, that are going to improve our living standards, that are going to give the vital and essential services that every citizen of this country deserves. And yet, we have hostile forces in Parliament that don't want this report to be tabled, that are doing just about everything they can to prevent it from being tabled, and it's quite frightening.
Despite this, the committee will still push to have the reports tabled in Parliament in August. Mickey Kavera, NBC National News, Port Moresby.
The 4 universities in PNG and the government have come to an understanding after 6 weeks of interruption to classes and have released a communique. Chief Secretary to Government Isaac Lupari said the meeting with the universities was fruitful and all have agreed that classes should resume. Bradley Gregory with this report.
It's been 6 weeks since public universities UPNG, Unitec, UOG and UNRE went on strike demanding Prime Minister Peter O'Neill to step down for a series of allegations relating to the running of the country. Today, Chief Secretary to Government Isaac Lupari announced that the universities and government have come to an understanding. Students should return to classes.
For the entire higher education learning institution is to get the kids back to classes.
The student strike had turned nasty in the cause between police and to a point amongst ethnic groups. Public property destroyed in the process. Mr. Lupari urged all stakeholders to work together to solve the student issues.
My message to leaders out there, whether it be in the political arena, whether in the civil society, the fathers and mothers, the community, now is the time you need to come out. We're talking about lives and education and the future of this country. I as a parent, I'm saying, we need everybody to work together to get these kids home, go back to school.
Various courses in the universities have returned to class, including the medical faculty and the sciences at UPNG and Unitec, amongst others. And they are in dialogue with those that are not attending classes.
There is dialogue taking place. At the same time, counsel is taking place. Counseling.
Bradley Gregory, NBC National News, Port Moresby.
Chief Secretary to Government Isaac Lupari has reiterated the government's stance that it's not broke. He said the government is mindful of the country's financial situation brought on by external forces. However, says they are taking measures to maintaining the economy. Again, Bradley Gregory reports.
Many commentators have criticized the government's handling of the economy, the country's financial situation. Notably, the shortage of foreign currency is amongst the many concerns. However, Chief Secretary to Government Isaac Lupari says these are issues beyond control. Demand is high, the supply is low.
When there is low inflow of forex and there's high demand, you are not able to meet everything. So what the central bank has done is to be able to try and go to the market, even in the right way, so making sure that we don't rock the boat. Our macroeconomic conditions are very stable, sound, and this is good for investors to come in.
The government remains positive of its handling of the country's economy. It set up a budget management committee tasked to closely monitor the country's economy.
The government has established a budget management committee. We meet every Wednesday to making sure what is the inflow and what is going to be the outflow. We make sure that key agenda of government is funded.
He said Papua New Guineans should not undermine the country's progress when already global energy giants are expressing confidence and commitment in investing in PNG.
The world is focused on Papua New Guinea. Investors want to come to Papua New Guinea. Total is coming. ExxonMobil is now looking at PNG. It's a 10 billion project. They are on track. Newcrest, WAFU, Frida. These are big projects that is going to change the economics of this country.
Bradley Gregory, NBC National News, Port Moresby.
A land title discrepancy has highlighted the need for proper measures to be followed by the Department of Lands and Physical Planning in handing out land titles. Ownership over a piece of land at 5 Mile in Port Moresby was called to question when two parties claimed to be the legitimate land title holders. Police were on hand to calm the situation and advised both parties to resolve the matter with the Department of Lands and Physical Planning. Gregory Avira reports.
Builders have commenced work on fencing off this portion of land. While work has begun, the title of this area has been called to question again, with two concerned parties claiming ownership. But it is a matter that both parties believe should be answered by the Lands and Physical Planning Department.
All Chinese too, only got me feeling Muslim, only no wrong too. Lands Department had give me all title and copy me all him stuff here.
Lady Karina acquired a land title of Section 89, Allotment 15 in 1982. According to her, this is the sixth party that has come forward claiming ownership of this portion of land. She said this piece of land was mistakenly forfeited and tendered in 1998. She inquired at Lands and Physical Planning, in which the department, upon investigating, admitted making an error on their part and agreed to have her land title reinstated and to compensate her.
I'm talk sorry lady, me pla wrong finisher. Na me to buy pla me want him now. Oh, me pla must reinstate him now. Give you back title.
The issue of illegal land acquisition is something that is on the rise. Lady Karina said many individuals have lost land through illegal practices, but nothing much is done to prevent this.
I know there's a lot of people out there who've lost land because of, just like I know, malfunction, but our Lands Department also working about that. There are people who cannot speak for themselves who have lost land and property too and have suffered.
However, the department has taken a positive step in curbing such problems by commencing a review of the Lands Act 1996. Under the review, the department aims to achieve two main objectives amongst others. This includes ensuring the land board is free of any political or external influences and to restrict land applications to only Papua New Guineans. The department says it is not to discourage investors, but they can develop the land if a sublease agreement can be set up with the legitimate local land title holder. Gregory Avira, NBC National News, Port Moresby.
We now join Douglas with the weather preview.
Thank you, Antonia. Good evening. The weather in brief: some parts of the country will experience fine weather conditions, while most parts should experience showers and possible thunderstorms. I've got all the weather details coming up later in the news. For now, though, it's back to you, Antonia.
Thank you, Douglas. Coming up next, Bulolo MP Sam Basil embraces the initiative taken by local people to organize themselves and be economically involved in mining activities. And executives of women groups in the Porgera district of Enga province undergo leadership and management training. Stay with us on NBC National News.